First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you can never really know what's up next.
Now we're on.
Hello.
Hello.
Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for upNXT, postwrestling.com, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever podcast app you are using. And we are live.
Live on youtube.com/postwrestling. Hello, postmarks.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, friends.
Friends.
We are your NXT friends, and it's Tuesday night, so every Tuesday night we go live right after NXT goes off the air, and we're going to talk about it here today.
All about it.
That's right. So who else would you want to hear discuss NXT wrestling every week?
Absolutely no one.
No, exactly.
No, you can't.
So shout out everyone in the YouTube chat. You can watch the replay on the YouTubes as well if you're someone who likes to
On
do
the
that.
YouTubes?
Yeah, I love how people send us like screenshots or pictures of them, like maybe they're working from home or at work and they decide to watch us
On the telly?
and then they full screen it or cast it, and it's like great, but like, man, like now I'm like concerned, like what if I had like a boogie or something in my nose? You're watching me in full HD on the screen.
I feel like there have been times where we've like, you know, made an effort to dress up, and then there are times that I've been in my pajamas doing this show.
Yeah, exactly. We never wear pants when doing it. You should hear behind the BDE.
Yeah.
That's the real no pants show.
Oh, and we're getting to those, you know, hotter months now,
Hot
aren't
days.
we? Oh,
Yeah, and we try to close all our windows when we
Yeah.
do this show. So.
what? Tell us, how do you put on like talcum powder without making just a mess?
It just looks like you just had a cocaine
It
bear
looks like
run
I've
through the
had TK
apartment.
over, yeah. It's
yeah. Yeah, every time. Some people say it's not good for your.
Really?
Yeah, Jesse from the Six was saying, "Guys,
What?
Stop doing it."
Are you being serious?
I don't know. That's what he said. He also says don't eat Doritos because they killed orangutans.
Does talcum powder kill?
I
Orangutans?
hope to God not, because like this summer is going to be a scorcher. It already is in some states and some places. So
It's starting to get nice here, isn't it?
yeah, it's getting really nice. But damn, you're looking up if talcum powder is. But I mean, it was bad for baby faces in the 80s
yeah.
and 90s because Mr.
Concerns
Fuji was
about a
throwing-
link between talcum powder and testicular cancer.
What?
Fuck.
Oh man.
So what can I use instead?
flour, starch? I don't know. Really?
Come on, like we need a Manscaped sponsorship here, don't we? Like,
Do they have ball
I'm sure they've got ball stuff.
sweater? What
Yeah.
is it?
I got ball deodorant from them once.
Sorry, ladies out there. This is for the guys talking here that we're like, hey, man, sorry we're talking about, but it's getting hot these days.
Yeah.
We should. What other options are there? And we should be sponsored by them. Absolutely.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, lads, let us know. What do you use in these hot months? Like we podcast for hours on ends in these sweaty chairs.
Yeah, it's exactly right.
Hit us up at upNXT podcast, I guess.
So we're going to talk about some NXT. We have a lot of things going on here that we're going to jump into today. Recommend you going in your podcast app or on your YouTubes, searching Poisonrana. We have a whole other feed where Davie and I do so many other podcasts. We took a break this past Sunday. It was Mother's Day, and I wanted to take my mom out for some tacos, so we took it the week off. But we were still planning and putting things together. Obviously, if you've been listening, we have the Forbidden Pour.
Oh yeah,
June 25th at Real Sports, right outside Scotiabank Arena, before and after Forbidden Door. But we've also added a little bit of a road stop. What do we call it in NXT? Roadblock here. We have double
fast lane.
Yeah,
What is it?
it's a fast lane to double or nothing. So any Toronto listeners or Toronto GTA area people, we're going to be doing a little watch party at Gabby's.
Yeah, we were kind of waiting to see if the Leafs get knocked out, and because we didn't want to put these tickets on sale and promise an event, and then the Leafs do well and there's a clash and then have to cancel or whatever. But the Leafs are out, so come and hang out on Sunday 28th at at Gabby's for Double or Nothing.
Here's some programming notes. So we are an NXT podcast, but we decided we'd rather watch Double or Nothing. So we're gonna be doing our Battleground, the show, the Monday after.
Yeah.
So look for us. We'll be going live at some point, sometime during the day, and we'll be doing a Battleground review on this post feed. But yeah, Toronto people, come out for our Double or Nothing watch party. It's not going to be as crazy, as insane as our Mania one or our Forbidden Door one, but we're going to be watching it and hanging out, and there'll always be fun times and stuff. So come for that. If you are in the area, it's like less than $10 to come. And hey, if that's not your bag and you're waiting for that one weekend in June, well, hey, the tickets are flying. And I want to say thanks to all these people buying tickets.
I'm blown away. These tickets have been on sale, what, a week?
2 weeks, maybe?
2 weeks,
yeah.
And they are moving. So if you want to come and hang out, like I know a lot of people going to Forbidden Door. It's going to be so much fun. We're doing a pre-show like Q&A with John and Way. We'll be playing one of our games. I mean, I'm starting to think, do we have to strip Fire Frank of his championship?
Oh.
Did he have some Roman Reigns negotiation that I didn't know about with this title? Because he hasn't defended this in months.
Last time he defended it, it was
it
in New
York?
York. Yeah, to be fair, this dude beat like a lot of people, right?
Yeah,
he beat Siino or something like that. Yeah, he
Siino
beat his
again.
own buddy. Yeah, his own buddy. Yeah. Well, actually, Davey, I just finished signing a contract.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't know it yet, though.
Okay.
But you came to me saying, should we strip our champion?
Yeah.
Our champion is a fighting champion because he's in the chat right now telling us other products to use instead of talcum powder. He says Fresh Balls is good, by the way, so we're going to have to look up that. But Frank, that's not going to save you. Frank has told me that he will be, in fact, at the Forbidden Pour on June 25th. So, Davey, this is a great time to lay out a challenge there. For anyone who's appearing or showing up at the Forbidden Pour pre-party, you may have an opportunity to face off against the reigning and defending BDE champion, Fire Frank. Some way, somehow, we will find some challenger or challengers for Frank that day. We've put him through the ringer before, and he still wins. We don't gimmick these things, and this guy still wins.
I feel like if he still wins the pre-thing, we're gonna have to make some spontaneous karaoke game for the championship at the after party.
He says he'll defend his title if we defend our tag titles, which we forgot that we had tag titles, but we are the reigning tag champions as well. Yeah, never forget. So, Forbidden Pour is gonna be crazy because we're also gonna do a little bit of a game before John and Way hit the stage.
Yep.
Because we're gonna do some fun stuff as we did in Newark, and Frank is now showing up here. So we're gonna have the champions, the challengers. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Gonna have some wrestling themed drinks, have some wrestling themed food, and then yes, after Forbidden Door, you can come right back to the party. Where we'll be doing some karaoke, some wrestling karaoke. It's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, and then me and some friends, shout out Big Tom, we've been looking for some fun, prizes and giveaways for the event, and we're cooking up with some fun things, and maybe in a few weeks I'll give some updates on some of the prizes we got going away for this thing. But we just want to throw a party in our own city, and we're going to do that, and it's going to be amazing.
So don't wait till it's too late. You can get the links to all of these, the Forbidden Pour, to our Double or Nothing watch party at Poisonrana.ca.
Yeah, it's a link page to everything we do there, so go check it out. And I'm excited to meet a lot of our listeners who are coming in for this big event. So can't wait to see you fine people. And if you're not, well, you'll be there in spirit somehow, some way. We'll get audio recordings of the stuff going on again. But I booked my flights to Wembley.
You did, yes.
To Wembley. I booked my flights. Well, we did that too.
Pretty much.
You did that. But now we're trying to book another trip to Wembley. We're trying to see the weekend a week before Double or Nothing, also at Wembley. So we're gonna have a little bit of a fun vacation by the end of this summer.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you all the spots.
Yeah, you're gonna take me to a carvery.
Yeah, of course.
We're gonna eat flake chocolate bars. You're gonna have what prawn cocktail flavored chips.
Oh yeah, you'll be. I'll take you to Aldi.
Sorry, so crisps are potato chips and chips are
fries. Yeah. Okay. There we go.
All right, I'm good. There. Can you take me to Corey Street?
To Coronation Street?
Yeah, is that somewhere else?
That's in Manchester.
Ah,
that neck of the woods, a bit further.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah, no, it's going to be good. But yeah, we want to hopefully go and see the weekend as well. We went to a concert last night.
Yes, we did. Yeah, yeah. I feel. What's my age again? Because we saw Blink 182 last night, and sometimes I believe in good karma. We're nice guys. We do nice things for nice people sometimes. And yesterday, Blink 182 is in Toronto, and the prices for their tour, specifically in Toronto, were just crazy. And I just didn't really want to spend, $400 a ticket, $300 a ticket to go see them, but it was bumming me out. I was getting FOMO. So I manifested the night before, like, even if I buy the cheapest ticket to go see Blink, like 13-year-old Braden really needs this to happen. I've never seen them ever. The three of them back together, one guy surviving cancer, the other guy surviving aliens. They're coming back to Travis Barker surviving Kardashians. Yeah. They're all back together now, and they're playing the greatest hits. I'm like, I need to see this. So I bought I tried all day buying like the cheapest tickets, and it was so hard. Finally got them, and I was posting in like Facebook ticket groups and stuff, always trying to avoid scammers. And as I already got in, someone messaged me like, "Hey, I have these floor tickets. Would love to just give them to someone." And I said, "Hey, it would make my girlfriend's night," meaning my night really, if you gave them to me. So he did. He's like, "You know what? No one's buying." I said, "Hey, try StubHub." He didn't get any bites, so he's just like, "Here you go." But I already scanned in. So I sent you the ticket and said, run, run to the Scotiabank right now. We live and you work really close to the venue. So you booked it over. And then when I went to the floor seats, which I was like, this guy spent $800 on this pair.
That's crazy.
And he just gave them to me. So when I sat down with me and my girlfriend, I noticed a few seats over, it was an empty seat. The band came on, empty seat. So I said, Davie, I sent you the screenshot of my ticket to come over to this section too. So we all stood all night and jammed out to some Blink 182, and I believe in a thing called good karma. So I got to finally see them. So I'm a happy guy today.
It was awesome. Had such a fun time. Yeah, I was looking at tickets all throughout the day, and
they're not cheap.
And you're like going, oh, is that what I want to go for? And then you think, oh, that looks a good deal, and then you realize it's in US dollars, so it's actually like $1 million in Canadian, and it's
it was like this guy said. He showed me. He's like, yo, I paid like 800 plus. That's insane. And this guy just gave them to me, and then we all got to see Blink, really close floor seats.
Yeah, it was great fun. I had a great time.
Insane. So I feel old.
Suffering a little today.
Yeah, I was hungover. We then went to karaoke after. Yeah. But I was hungover today, but it made me feel old again, but young again at the same time. So it was very well worth it. So if they're coming to your town, I think it was worth it. They actually were better than I thought they were going to be.
I thought they were awesome.
Yeah.
I thought they were really great.
I was kind of like, man, am I going to spend all this money and they're going to kind of like ruin how I think they sound? Nope, did not happen.
No, I thought they sounded awesome.
Yeah, and they literally did all their greatest hit. They're like, we're not going to try to sell you on our new album. No.
My friend who lives in Long Island messaged, and she was like, "Oh, you saw them? Did they do any of their new stuff?" I was like, "No, no, like all their hits." And she's like, "Good, yeah, I'm going on Saturday."
yeah, it was so good. They even did this one where it's like all like swearing and everything and crazy "Happy Holidays, you bastards!" like a minute long. They did like some real deep cuts. And the best part, if you're a longtime fan, you know how they used to be like real cheeky and silly and funny. They were doing all that shit. The guy was bras. How many bras were thrown?
So many
at them?
bras being
They were
thrown.
putting them on. They were walking on stage.
Travis Barker had 2 broken fingers playing the set,
and then he was flying in the air.
Yeah,
that dude's insane.
He is insane.
That's a beast.
I realized I've seen him twice now.
You've seen Travis Barker before?
He played at WrestleMania 31.
Oh, who did he play out?
With Skylar Grey and David Guetta.
Oh,
song.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow. Sick. Wow, look at you seeing Travis Barker.
Yeah.
He was very impressive.
He was awesome.
Yeah, he's crazy. Flying in the air and playing drums with broken fingers. Damn, yeah. So yeah, we got to see Blink. We had a fun time.
I almost went as a backup plan. My friend was like, "Hey, if you can't go, I've got 2 tickets to see Seal." And I went like, "Yeah, like I'd see it for that one song, I guess." But
quick, name another Seal song other than Kiss from
And
a
then
Rose.
I said to my friend who I was meant to go and see Blink with, I was like, "Hey, backup plan. We could always go and see Seal." Like, does he have more than one song? I was like, I don't think so. But that song would be good though.
Yeah,
baby.
He must end with it, right?
Start with it, end with it.
Yeah. At that point, I don't know any other Seal songs.
Whenever I think of Seal, I just think of that line in Superbad. Where he's like, "McLovin, who are you, Seal?"
Yeah, I think of Batman Forever when I think
Of course, yeah.
So we're on happy times right now. This is a good time to let us know that we do a lot of other podcasts, like I said, over on that Poisonrana feed. But we have a Patreon as well. Patreon.com/Poisonrana. Past few weeks, we've been putting out some great shows. Obviously, Backlash was in Puerto Rico, so we did the last time WWE did a show in Puerto Rico, the Cursed Puerto Rico show, which was so much fun. So New Year's
Revolution 2005.
Yeah. Elimination Chamber, that was a lot of fun. We also did our Mario Brothers 1993 review a few weeks back as well. That's up on the Patreon. But if you're an NXT fan and maybe you enjoy NXT, well, we do a show called Was Next, where we go back and look through like all old NXT, and we started back in the Full Sail era, and we've made it all the way to 2014.
January 1st, 2014, our next episode.
Yeah, so the last Was Next that we did, we teamed with our Was Next experts, Chris and
Anne-Marie.
Anne-Marie, that girl. And we looked at like the whole year of 2013 in NXT, and then the bonus match of William Regal versus Cesaro. So that was a sweet one. But now we're finally made it to 2014, and we're looking at the January 1st, 2014, featuring a 2 out of 3 falls, Sami Zayn versus Leo Kruger, which I watched today back, and there's a Koji clutch, which oddly enough, there was one tonight on NXT.
Tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that show. It's really fun going back. We're now kind of building up to NXT Arrival coming up. So yeah,
it hasn't even been announced yet, but it's it's
I know
coming.
it. That's like around the Mania time.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Before Mania. So really looking forward to that. We also did a best match ever Keiji Muto with WH Park last week, which we've been having quite a bit of good feedback for.
Yeah, hey, thanks everyone. We always love feedback for all the shows. I know you whether it's you lonely stoners at night listening to podcasts, you people driving, your morning commuters, whenever you use the podcast, that's people tell us they listen to on their tractors. We love it. We love that too, and we all love all the feedback. And having WH Park, he came over in studio in the BDE in the flesh. He brought us some nice Oreo ice creams.
You just had
one. They
one.
were just really nice. WH Park knows his shit when it comes to pro wrestling, specifically Japanese pro wrestling. And we got to nerd out with WH, and it was a fun time. And we had a lot of laughs as well. So we also link all the free matches, the Great Muta, Keiji Muto matches as a part 1 and part 2, now both up on our Patreon. So if for you wrestling nerds out there, this is the perfect show because it was a ton of fun. We review, rate, and look through the best of Muto. And man, WH knows this stuff.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just crazy.
And finally, been doing my Succession
fuck
reviews.
Off.
Fuck off.
I finally, I'm catching up.
You're close. You're close.
I'm like a few episodes to be caught up completely.
Nice.
I binged through.
I still haven't seen Sundays yet. So
yeah,
I had to be careful listening to Rewind of Raw yesterday because you know what Pollock's like.
Yeah, I can't listen. Yeah, I know. I can't even listen to him talk about Raw. I'm like, gotta skip ahead. And then I go, I don't even want to listen to Raw now because he's saying things. I was spoiled on a big thing on season
the
4.
big episode 3 thing.
Yeah. But I'm not mad about it. But no. I just love Greg.
Right.
The Disgusting Brothers.
Yeah.
Are really great. So I can't wait because you've thrown it out there. You've thrown it out that in the next few weeks there's Double or Nothing and Battleground on the same night. But on the same night, it's also the series finale of Succession.
Look, if they don't build up this AEW Double or Nothing card, I know what I'm throwing on at Gabby's.
Just switch it.
Yeah.
Put it on.
It's been really fun to chat about this show. Been absolutely loving the latest season. I was joined by Benno from the Grapple Spotlight. Shout out Grapple app.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Pour one out.
Can't
wait. I can't wait. If they're out there, I gotta hit them up soon because I can't wait to see those guys. We got to meet Benno in New York with Steph, but I can't wait to meet some of the other guys over there. Obviously, we've had Bushby from British wrestling experience, but I know we're gonna run into him as well. But the whole lot of those guys, I can't wait to meet those guys.
Absolutely. I'll be joined by Scrump this week to talk about episode 8.
Wow.
And I've got JP Houlihan from Grapple for next week, and then some very special guests for our series finale of Succession coming up. Don't know when, as we said, clashes with Battleground and Double or Nothing. But in that week, will be putting up a very special free finale episode of the Sesh.
I could be wrong, but I think Scrump is opening the Forbidden Pour. I think he's taking a visit to the 6. We're gonna have him back at the BDE. So yeah, lots of shows over there. The Sesh, if you're a Succession fan, that is the show for you. But it's coming close to the end of the series, so it's getting crazy. And yeah, it's a good show. I've been binging it, loving it so much. So yeah, patreon.com. It's only $5 to become a friend, and you get access to everything we've done in that back catalog, guys. It's how we create our content and how we keep our lights on and keep our internet from not fucking up on us all the time.
Has it been bad recently?
No, because we've been paying.
I'm like scared now.
Because we're paying. We're like, yo, we need this.
Yeah.
Stop. I swear we'll talk about NXT, but we have not really. We didn't do a Poisonrana this week. And you know what? I do think it's pretty crazy with the whole Wembley stuff with AEW and like how big of a success that's like coming to. But then this talk about, you know, don't miss AEW this week. There's going to be some big news, whether it's a return announcement or something about CM Punk, this Collision show that might be happening. And sorry, AEW $1 billion deal, possibly.
Maybe.
That's crazy. I thought this was a t-shirt company.
Yeah.
Like, this is crazy.
That's huge stuff. If that is true, this deal with HBO Max, right?
Yeah.
Or just Max now.
Who?
Max.
Okay.
Was it a bill over 4 years, or that's like the rumor going around? Great stuff. Like, good for them. I think we have been pretty low on AEW TV, I think, recently. I think there's a lot going on that clearly you're watching TV. The focus is like not there. But I think from this summer, it's going to really turn around. I think you're going to see it with the build of Forbidden Door. That Wembley show is going to be huge. And like that's an event that could be like game changing for them. And then if they've got this deal on top of it, it's looking very good for AEW. I think they've already proven themselves as like the biggest number 2 ever.
Yeah. That's where it's like all the old timers, you know, specifically like Eric Bischoff, who's like, yeah, well, you'll never get ratings I got. You'll never even get ratings TNA got at this point. Like, I don't know, man. I work in TV. I know ratings matter still to a lot of people, but I'm, what am I, a millennial? I'm born in 91. You think I've ever paid for cable?
Yeah.
No. I work in TV and I don't pay for cable. Don't tell my boss, but yeah, like, so rating, and you know how much fucking wrestling I watch?
Yeah.
You know what does matter though? When they sign $1 billion deals, when they make a $7+ million gate. Didn't see Eric do that.
No.
So there's apples and oranges, and
I
I'm looking at
agree.
it different.
It's a different time.
I look at it like this: that like they've already become like a big thing, whether people see it that way or not. It is now. Like it really is.
I really want to see them try with this. It'll be interesting to see. I assume if it's this Max deal, that's what the Wembley show is going to be on.
Yeah.
It's going to be like streaming. Whether that means that they move to having more kind of sort of pay-per-view like events that go on the streaming service. They've been doing these house shows and things. Maybe keep their big 4 as pay-per-views, but doing like maybe 6, 7 different events throughout the year. I'd also be interested to see where it lands in the UK, because Max, I don't believe, is in the UK.
Oh, right.
But they do have their deal with ITV. I think if they can get some big ITV...
Well, they're not going on TNT Sport?
No.
Isn't that weird?
That is weird, yeah. But yeah, if they can get some major coverage in the UK on ITV, really promote it, you might have a bunch of people check out this show. Like, huge stadium show in Wembley for free on TV. And if you can put on a really quality product, you know, some really great hype videos for each match as well. So if it is someone's first introduction in wrestling, the first time maybe they've watched wrestling since fucking World of Sport days or WWE on the Channel 4, that kind of thing, you could really have the opportunity to change business, I think.
Yeah, make it more accessible, because that's definitely something in today's world with streaming and apps and stuff like that. Like, it should be more accessible and easy for people to, you know, watch and consume wherever they are. But if it's this show is going to be like the Collision show is kind of at a weird time, because I'm joking around. I'm a millennial. I don't watch cable. I also don't watch TV on Saturday night. So it's like, that's a tough one, because that Rampage was just on Saturday night. didn't do too well. Obviously, that was just this rampage. But like wrestling fans will still watch, but watching live is definitely going to be harder, I think, on a Saturday, unless you half the time it's like you promo something pretty big to lead into a game or something like that. But yeah, it's pretty crazy and like big numbers and big things kind of coming for this company that just keeps going. Because in the world of TV, like live shows, live entertainment is what keeps things going, and that's what they provide, and like that's what people are clearly interested.
And it's no off season, you know. It's why WWE does so well. There's no off season. You're striking a deal with them. That's, you know, well, now they're doing like 4, 5, 6 hours on TV a week, aren't they? In prime time. That's all year round. So yeah, good for them. But shall we move on to some NXT?
I think so. I think it's time.
Do it. NXT from May 16th, 2023, live from the Capitol Wrestling Center. And we start off with a NXT Women's Championship Tournament quarterfinal match. It's Cora Jade taking on Fallon Henley. And they both get sort of insert promos as they're making their entrance. Cora calls herself the savior of the NXT Women's Division. And she says her side plate should already be on the title belt. She is the best of the best. And Fallon Henley doesn't match that. This is the generation of Jade. Fallon calls herself the top shelf of NXT and says that Cora's got to get her head out of her ass. And she has more grit in her little finger than Cora Jade does. And that's why she's going to the semifinals.
I did like the bartender using the term top shelf.
Top shelf, yeah.
I see what you did there. I like that.
It's good, yeah. There's a nice exchange starting this match. A bunch of like arm drags back and forth. Fallon hits her like baseball slide punch a la Brooks and Jensen. And then Cora Jade hits the high knee in the corner, very CM Punk-esque. We've been mentioning she's been doing a lot of CM Punk things, like calling herself the savior in this promo things, and starting to use a bit of his moveset as well. And then Cora starts to target the knee of Fallon Henley. Cora ties Fallon in the ropes and delivers this big drop kick to the chest. And then Cora locks in the Dragon Sleeper. Fallon comes back hitting a Shining Wizard, and Cora gets dumped to the outside. Fallon wants to win this match in the ring, so she drags Cora back into the ring, but as Fallon's climbing through the ropes, she gets chop blocked, injuring that knee further, and Cora delivers the double underhook DDT to pick up the win and advance to the semifinals.
The generation of Jade continues. Yeah, pretty good match. I think I've not been too high on Cora Jade the past little while. To me, it is just like cosplaying as CM Punk a bit. What really are you ever saying or doing? And just the character isn't working for me, and the wrestling really hasn't been hitting for me. I would say though, Fallon Henley is someone for WWE kind of being impressive, and then coming here and kind of just being a manager role for a bit, finally getting a shine with the tag team thing. But she held her own here, and I wasn't expecting Fallon to go through, but in a weird way, I'm like, oh man, I kind of see you as putting on better matches.
You'd like to see her progress, I think, because I think whenever she's in the ring, she looks really just solid and competent, and I enjoy her. I think she's got a real likability about her. I thought this was one of Cora's better matches in recent months that I can remember. I'm completely with you. She ever since the heel turn, she just hasn't felt authentic as it. Whereas Bron, like right away, he's had this change and it just works.
Maybe he can teach her a few things.
Yeah, maybe. It fits him so well. Whereas Cora, just it feels like she's really trying hard, and it feels like she's playing a character rather than being. And I thought she actually came across way better when she was a babyface. So maybe it's sometimes she'll switch back, but yeah, it's not quite working.
Yeah, she also just looks like dresses like a Hot Topic employee, and it like doesn't necessarily scream like I would be scared of you.
Yeah,
not like any wrestler. Why would they be scared of this person? She carries a bat to try to be scary, but yeah. I still see her progressing, and it's probably Cora versus.
I think Cora Roxanne in the final makes the most sense.
We'll get to some more later on, but I still think Cora Jade has a place down the line, but she's super young as well. So there's still time to get better and everything. Yeah. Also, but I also like Fallon.
Yeah.
Top shelf.
So that means we're getting Cora Jade versus Lyra Valkyria next week in the semifinal.
You get that match.
Finally, like it's like buses. You wait for ages for a match, and then because they just had this last week or 2 weeks ago, right? Yeah. Good stuff.
You just really wanted that match, and now you're getting it again.
Yeah.
CM Punk versus the Bird Lady.
Oh right, yeah, I'm with you. We go to the women's locker room, and Kiana says to, like, Thea Hale is there and she's all acting up, and Kiana tells her that it's different watching a match from as a fan and watching as a superstar. She's kind of saying, like, I'm a superstar here and you're just a fan, as they're kind of watching this Cora Jade and Kiana match. Kiana then calls her a pathetic child, and Thea Hale says that she should have been in the tournament and she wants a match with Kiana, and James says, well, don't you have to ask permission from your university for that? So she asks Duke, who's in the corner wearing glasses, marking papers.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, sure, you can, whatever. And Thea says she's going to beat her ass tonight. So they're having a match. So it's signed off.
That up later tonight.
No Andre Chase again this week.
Yeah, where's Andre?
I mean, Bron kind of beat him up pretty bad, didn't he?
Yeah, but he also put Mello in the hospitals.
Yeah, they're cut differently, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, maybe he's like out scouting other Is it like, university's over for a lot of people now.
Yeah.
May, right? So
vacation.
Yeah, I don't know. Whereas as long as he's just not showing up on darker, I guess that's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
but
ROH.
Yeah. I think he's still in WWE.
I hope so.
It's been a while since we've had to do that.
We need a pay. We can't just have now Duke Hudson just runs the uni.
I mean, he took over the guy that they just clearly
He's doing a better job, though, realistically.
Yeah. Okay. I like Duke.
People think there might be ulterior motives here, but...
Where's Andre?
Where's Andre?
Where's Peter Andre?
Yeah. Oh, good stuff. We go to Tyler Bate and Wesley, who are meditating.
Yeah, sure they are. Yeah. I was meditating before I watched NXT tonight, too.
When the Dyad attacks them, slams them against the lockers, and Gacy gets in their face because he wants the NXT North American.
Yeah.
So that sets up something a bit later on, because Wes and Tyler were meant to be teaming together tonight, but now they're out.
Yeah, so Gacy is showing a bit more aggression. Obviously, was there with Ava, who for the past few weeks is like, hey, but do this for you. Do something for yourself. So he's finally doing that.
And they were meant to face Dempsey and Gulak tonight. So now the match is off. We see a fancy car pull up, and it's the NXT champion, Carmelo Hayes, with Trick Williams. Booker T saying that they would certainly pass the airport test. And they're coming to the ring as we see Gulak and Dempsey kind of in the corridor backstage being told by a referee that their match isn't going ahead. And Trick and Mello just storm past them and make their entrance. And we got a replay from last week of the spear from Bron in midair.
Yeah.
And they actually showed it in like 3 different angles here. Looked great.
Yeah, the flying clothesline countered into the spear is a clip they should use they'll use for a long time.
Carmelo gets on the mic and says, last week my friend defended my honor, and last week you wanted to send me a message, Bron. Well, message received, and everyone's saying that this isn't the same Bron Breaker, but this isn't the same Carmelo Hayes. And at Battleground, we're in my yard, and when in my yard, we don't bite. Sorry, we don't bark, we bite. And then Trick says, so come on out, big bad booty Bron.
Yeah, pretty funny line to call him that, because obviously big bad booty daddy and all that. But I like Trick and Mello when they run their mouth. I feel like a lot of theirs is not more, they're allowed to kind of improvise a bit.
Stuff.
Yeah,
I was listening to Mello on Corey Graves' podcast last week, which was quite interesting, and was saying about how he goes back and forth with Shawn Michaels quite a lot, because he's saying, like, obviously there's stuff that he tries to be quite current with, stuff he uses in his promos and things, where obviously Shawn Michaels is like, I don't know what that
means.
Exactly. And he's saying he's had quite a few where it's like, Shawn's like, okay, but ultimately are you are you saying this to like further something, or are you saying it to just like pop yourself?
Right.
And it's like, so that's why he's like, I'm trying to get a good balance with what I'm saying.
Fair enough, yeah.
But I think he's always entertaining in his promos, but I like it here where he just turns it up a bit more serious. Even Trick's intensity, even though he's coming out with his silly lines like Big Bad Booty Bron, I think they up the intensity quite nicely. And I think this match is looking in way better shape than it was at Stand and Deliver.
Yeah.
And, well, Bron doesn't come out, but Charlie Dempsey and Drew Gulak come out, and they say that you interrupted us. You were disrespecting us. We were meant to have a match.
You walked right by us.
And you walked right by us. You didn't even look at us, and you treated us like nothing just when we found out our match is cancelled. And this is when the crowd start to chant, directed at Dempsey, Willy Wonka. And it's like, oh yeah, he does look like Gene Wilder.
Well, hold on. It took me a second because I'm like, what are they chanting? I asked you, I'm like, what are they chanting? Willy Wonka. Oh, Willy Wonka. And then we're like, okay, yeah, he kind of looks like Gene Wilder. Then I'm like, well, wait a second. He kind of looks like Timothy Chalamet. Shamalama Ding Dong.
He does look a bit like...
Who is the new Willy Wonka in the Origin movie that the trailer's dropping soon.
He's got that Gene Wilder hair, though, as well. And then wearing the purple trunks.
Frankenstein.
This was... I don't know who started this chant, but I haven't thought it at all until they did it. And
we're going to hear it for
This was one of those scenes where, like, it just got funny. Because you could see everyone trying to battle. It was like the Uzi thing. Mello is like just outwardly laughing here, and they start improvising here because they're calling him Willy Wonka now.
They call him Willy Wonka,
and Trick calls him Charlie in the Chocolate Factory.
You lose.
And I'm pretty sure like Dempsey and Gulak did quite well to like try and keep it, but you could see they were sort of smirking a little. And they all start to brawl, and Mello catches Gulak with a big boot to the face. And well, this is going to set up a match later in the evening, but quite a fun segment to watch, I thought.
Yeah, Regal Jr., Charlie Dempsey's got something that he's got to get like Wonka bar inspired gear, purple gear next week or something like that.
It's like, this could be death though. In a previous era of WWE, it's
still
like
wear the fucking hat.
Now this is a very gimmick. Like, is this guy, we're going to have Big Daddies next to the fucking Chocolate Factory?
He's gonna, his entrance is he's gonna walk out with the cane limping, and then all of a sudden do a forward roll and get back up on his feet.
You're going to have Nathan Fraser on Hard Hitting Truths revealing about the slave labor from the short people working at Charlie Dempsey's Chocolate Factory.
Did you hear in the new movie that Hugh Grant's the Oompa Loompa?
Yeah. Hugh Grant is having a weird like renaissance right now.
That's wild.
So a friend of mine yesterday was like, oh, I just threw on that Dungeons and Dragons movie. And like, just what is Hugh Grant doing these days?
A few people told me to watch that movie.
I've heard it's quite fun. I loved how it was marketed as the greatest film of all time.
No.
The trailer was like, critics are saying it's the greatest film ever made.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure you're lying.
Willy Wonka might be one of them. Which, cheap plug for our Patreon again, but a few years ago, we reviewed it. We reviewed, what's the actual name of this movie?
The film is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, you're right.
And the book is Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, the movie turned like 40, 50, it was some crazy anniversary, 60 maybe, and we did a review
we should re-release it for the new film.
Yeah, when he eventually leans into this
not Timothy. Charlie Dempsey wins. Yeah,
when Charlie Dempsey's movie comes out, we'll put that up on this feed. But yeah, that's a classic. The soundtrack, Come With Me.
So I don't know if anyone should be concerned here, but Dijak's kidnapped Ilya Dragunov, it seems.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't wait to talk about this. So this is the first part of this.
This is the first part.
Was there just two?
There were three.
There was three.
Tonight.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So we see Dijak in his like spooky justice office.
Yeah, in his like boss man office with clocks and audio,
like all dark, like dim blue lighting,
Batman neo noir,
sunglasses inside.
Yeah.
Liz for New Year. We see Ilia wearing his like tight black. He's not in a turtleneck. He's in like a tight, like
I almost didn't recognize him.
Yeah. And he says to Dijak, "You've been trying to break me, but I am invincible and unbreakable. And pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. And Dijak says, there isn't a man alive I can't break. And Dragunov just goes, well, I'd like to see you try.
Which then sets up a challenge for the next two segments where Dijak
is going to torture Dragunov,
who's willingly going to be tortured by Dijak. More to come. I think
we'll save thoughts till later. But
Good idea.
That happened on NXT tonight.
It was like I was watching like a dark cop show, some dark shit.
Like, we're going to get someone else in this show gets arrested later, and it's not Dijak.
Yeah, it should be torturing this guy. I mean, it's consent.
Yeah,
which we'll get into
True,
later.
Yeah. Okay. So last night we get from NXT Anonymous. We see that Danny Palmer was attacked by a mysterious figure at NXT Sebring.
Sebring,
is that what it's called? Sebring.
Oh, is this a place?
Was that a house show?
Coconut Loop.
Yeah.
2023.
Exactly. But the women's roster being picked off one by one.
Oh no! So we think it's Stevie Turner, but a few other people think it could be. I still think it makes the most sense. I know there was people saying that it was her who did attack her. I don't know.
Well, did you see John Siino's theory? He thinks Mandy Rose is coming back. There's been some whispers of Mandy may be coming back. He says she comes back and reunites Gigi and JC after their match, and they go to Raw.
It's a weird thing to suggest. I don't know if that's gonna happen. Mandy looks like she's enjoying her time off.
Yeah.
Mandy looks like she's just living her best life with her what's her fan page thing, like? She's not OnlyFans, but it's like fan page.
She made it quite clear, didn't she? She's like, actually it's like fan zone or something.
Yeah, I do a lot more.
Yeah.
I do a lot more better shit. She's like rich as fuck. I don't think she needs to do anything revolving around. So bless her. What a genius. She doesn't even ever take
what she gets offered, you know?
I don't know if that's you think Mandy Rose has been taking out NXT rookies?
Maybe. I do I don't dislike the idea of when they move up putting Gigi and JC back together.
Yeah.
Though I think it would help both of them.
You know, I don't think it's no, Mandy Rose won't ever come back. I don't think she's just not coming back right now. Yeah. I do think she'll come back to WWE.
So Stevie Turner is your pick.
Yeah.
Let's see what the chat room think.
Stevie's hacked it. Isn't that her gimmick?
Tino Sabatelli. That's right. That's the guy. I
don't know. Someone messaged me and said that no, it's not Mandy Rose. And I was like, all right, cool. But I don't think it's gonna be that. I could see Stevie Turner. We were also thinking Blair Davenport. She hasn't been around
that's true,
for a while. There's a few other people that have been signed that, whatever, but we'll see.
Could also be someone coming back down.
Zoe Stark's just still mad. She's just like, I used to attack people.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll just never know, like Hideo Itami.
Yeah.
Just never.
Maybe this was the person.
Yeah.
They could get it's the big reveal, and I attacked Hideo.
Such a shame.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens.
Such a shame.
Yeah.
We go forward to a tag match. The Dyad taking on the Creed brothers, and I'm gonna say right at the top, watch this match. This was pretty awesome. I thought Dyad looked pretty cool with their entrance tonight. Their glow-in-the-dark masks, and I don't know, that song just hits, doesn't it?
It is a good song, and these guys have, like, I think now with the interest of these guys kind of being publicly like, hey, we want out. Now all of a sudden they get booked on TV.
Yeah.
So something's happened where maybe they're being listened to. Like, hey, why don't we prove that we can wrestle and belong to be here? Maybe we don't,
And maybe it's a narrative I'm putting on it, but I felt they were wrestling with a chip on their shoulder tonight because I thought this match was great.
Absolutely. Diamond Mine have been the team in NXT for a while. We figured they'd be pulled up. They weren't. You'd think they have a bit of a chip on their shoulder as well. And yeah, Jake Hager. What's these guys' names?
Julius Creed and Brutus.
No.
Oh, Rip Jagger and Jack Swagger.
Why did I say that? Yeah.
Rip Fowler and Jagger Reed.
Yeah. They look different. They had different gear, specifically James Drake.
Yeah, he was in Long Boys now.
Yeah, he looked good.
Different.
But the wrestling was there. So I don't know if this is like gonna lead into them. Maybe we're gonna wrestle and then leave. Or we're gonna wrestle to prove that we're actually better here.
So Brutus wearing his gorilla gear today.
Yeah, the gray gorilla.
Yeah. Julius is in there with Rip Fowler, who's doing the Greco-Roman knuckle lock, like pressing his shoulders to the mat. But Julius, just being this freak athlete, keeps on kipping up out of them. There's a suplex from Rip, and Julius kips up again, and then follows up by a big drop kick. Julius just is an absolute freak of nature, just so athletic. And then Julius dives out of the ring to tag in Brutus, who comes in and hits this huge delayed suplex to James Drake, to Jagger Reed.
Yeah.
And then does the delayed suplex, goes over and tags in Brutus. Julius.
While still holding him. Passes off to Julius, who then tags in and passes back to Brutus. And then
running
a train on this guy.
Yeah, there's been a tag team recently that did that
move, right? Where they tag in and out.
Was it Jericho and Sammy? Did they do it?
Yeah, we were watching this and we couldn't remember what team has been recently doing the holding, the tagging back and forth, but it was pretty cool.
But looked great, and I always think it almost looks more impressive when you see them starting to fall down. We see this with Bandido's suplex, where you think they're not going to be able to, and then they hoist them back up.
Yeah. That's the you got to be super strong to do a lot of these things.
Yeah.
And the Creeds, it gets you into it even more. Oh, can he do it? Anyone can get into that, right? Watching that.
So they do this first to Jagger and then do it to Rip, and it's like they hold Rip Fowler up for even longer here. Jagger then applies a Koji clutch.
Oh, I marked that.
Julius.
Yeah, absolutely. This guy knew how to get some wrestling fans back on his side. The classic, the complete shot into the Koji clutch. I mentioned we reviewed an old NXT coming out this week, and Sammy used to use it as a finisher. Some people use this as a finisher. Great wrestling move. I still to this day don't understand how they get it locked in, but it is a finisher to me. But I loved it.
So Julius is fading, but then powers up and deadlift powerbombs Jagger Reed to break the hold.
Wow, incredible spot.
Julius then dives to tag in Brutus, who is in his Hulk smash mode. There's German suplex to Brutus, who flips out of it to land on his feet, and now just starts smashing down with his clubbing blows onto Rip Fowler.
How do you not potato someone doing it looks like the Hulk?
It looks
right?
so silly, but it's great as well.
Yeah, it's a bit hokey, but it's a spot that works. A lot of his spots are believable. If he did this to someone,
he does all the walking around on the mat on his knuckles like a gorilla as well.
It's Anderson Silva to me, so he's lit.
Brutus then delivers. This was Shell Shock, right? Ryback's old move.
Yeah,
marching around the ring.
Yeah.
Where is Ryback?
Oh, he's on the floor.
He's on the floor.
Yeah,
but yeah, that spot looked great. And then Brutus goes for the chaos theory. Isn't that what they called it? The
chaos theory.
What Chad Gable does, the roll through suplex thing.
Yeah.
And then catches Rip as he's doing this to Jagger into a Northern Light suplex as well. So doing the whole double suplex thing.
Multiple people suplexing different people at the same time.
There's a pounce to Reed, and now Rip and Brutus are trading clotheslines, and commentaries brought out, I don't know if you want to go blow for blow with Brutus here, but Rip Fowler really giving it his own as well. Julius comes in with these huge clotheslines, goes for a power bomb to Jagger here, who turns it into a DDT, and then Ava on the outside tries to attack Ivy, but Ivy catches her in the Dragon Sleeper, and Brutus comes off the apron with the Brutus Bomb, or what is it, the
Brutus
Ball to Fowler, and then allowing Julius to hit the huge, the rolling DVD, followed by that huge lariat for the win. This was an awesome match, and the crowd were really this NXT crowd are always very supportive, but they were then some with this, a lot of them standing up at the end of this match, and I thought this was one of the best NXT matches we've seen for a long time.
Yeah, NXT has that one match once in a while that is worthy of a pay-per-view, really. A lot of the times NXT lately has been one match that will crack, and this was it for this one. NXT's just been on a run of having a match that you should check out, and this is definitely one of them. But all 4 just going here. Really, it's the vets, the grizzled young vets who do have a chip on their shoulder because they're still in.
It really felt like they were wrestling like that because I think this was their best match for a long time, and even though they lost, I thought this was a match where they seemed like if they won, I'd buy it as well. Like I thought, and the Creeds are just so entertaining to watch. They have such a fun style, just both of them. Julius with his crazy Cesaro-like strength, and Brutus just with these. Yeah, the Hulk gimmick just works for him.
Yeah.
Like he just turns into the Hulk and starts clubbing. I thought this was such a fun match, and we say it every week, but I see huge things for the Creeds, especially Julius.
Julius is awesome. Shoes off for Gibson still. Don't know which one's which. I keep forgetting, but they're looking more like people. Maybe the Dyad thing will actually end up working. Sorry, the schism thing will end up working, but like if they're getting TV time now, when maybe they spoke up and said, we want out, we're done here. It's like, well, wait, what's the problem? Well, we just want to wrestle. Okay, we'll maybe you wrestle more, maybe be featured more. Like, I guess that helped them in a way.
I mean, we saw, like, I always think back to that Brody Lee interview when he left WWE and had the chat with Jericho, where that was what he was saying. He was like, I just want to wrestle. I don't care if it's house shows. I don't care. Like, I just send me to NXT. And Triple H apparently pitched, like, how about, do you want to go to Japan? Like, we can make that work. And I think Vince, like, vetoed it or whatever. But maybe now with Triple H more in control with that sort of thing, that is a conversation they can have. Look, we hate these gimmicks and we want to wrestle. Okay, well, how about we just put you in some bangers every week? And eventually, like, I'd like to see these guys move up.
And back to the way they were before.
Whatever, yeah. Just like, I think it would be good for them to have a crack on the main roster because they kind of do deserve it, and at least give it a shot before they move on elsewhere.
They're really good. I've always liked them. I've always liked Gibson since I've seen him, and always liked them since being the tag team. They really worked together. They had scarves. They were funny. They were good wrestlers. Will these names get over on the main roster? I'm not sure, but I guess that doesn't matter. I really love this match, and it does prove like these guys, with the whole, hey, contracts and stuff, hey, we want out, like, it shows they actually are really good. So they won't be on the Wembley card, but maybe they'll be champions in NXT.
Money in the Bank.
Like, they lost here, but really we're like, oh, wait a second, hold on. Can we let them cook a bit now? Hold on, wait a second. So I do want to see more of them. And you know what? All the flowers to those two guys. They've been literally put through the ringer and through the shit here, and they're still here right now. So... because they kind of have to be, I guess. But, but still, they delivered tonight.
I just remembered at Blink 182 yesterday. Because you're like, well, they have to be there. They said at the end, it's like, we're going to do our last song of the night, but it's not really our last song of the night. We're going to pretend like it's the last song of the night. And then we're going to do three more songs. And you know why? Because we're contractually obligated to.
And then
it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I also like how they started off by being like, hey, everyone in the suites, in the boxes, like, shout you out. Yeah. Now everyone else. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
They were great.
They also were talking about, they was talking about aliens, and they were talking about their PPs.
Yeah. Good times. We see Tony and Stacks at dinner.
Oh, you want to talk about some good times?
Oh, yeah.
This is crazy, folks.
So they're going to have some nice Italian food.
Yeah, they're at Fresca.
Okay,
there,
yeah. Oh, yeah, their place. That's their spot. I forget this part of the Monopoly board. And Stack says, sorry, boss.
Right as the meeting starts.
Yeah.
His phone rings.
I got to take this phone call. I got to sort out these things from the docks.
You know how it is? And he's like, yeah,
Stacks.
And then it zooms in on Tony as Stacks goes to take the business call. Like, oh, what are you talking? And Tony just goes, that's my boy.
That's my boy. As these two... faceless men come in. We never see their face.
You can't see their face.
But it's the police. And
would you look at that? It's the police.
They say, we're here to take you away for criminal acts. And he's just about to have his pasta. And he's like, oh, what the fuck? So they take him away for questioning. And, well, Stacks comes back and he doesn't know where he's gone.
And this waitress is like, the police,
men.
the men just came and took him downtown. I guess downtown Orlando. So yeah, the feds finally got Tony D.
Yeah, word of advice, guys.
If you're
a criminal, don't do it on TV.
Don't do it in front of the cameras.
I know not many people are watching, but people are watching.
Like, yo, who snitched? I don't know. Everyone. It's on TV. He's not the best criminal.
So what exactly? Which crime is it? How many charges are up against Tony D here?
I would imagine he took it. Like, look, we knew he was kidnapping people, putting people in trunks, beating people up with pipes. I don't know. We never knew what he did to Lash Legends TV producer. Remember, he's been doing this shit for a while, but
pretty deadly, of course.
But now he's literally tried to murder someone. I think that may be the yes boy. I think that's it. I think Pretty Deadly are like, no, this guy tried to kill us.
Yeah.
So we're
got a restraining order. That's why we went to Raw.
Yeah, you'll never be on the main roster now because we have a restraining order.
But also the timing of this phone call was Stacks leaves the room and then just as he leaves.
Yeah, I've seen too many
like
mob
Stacks
movies.
has to make a play to be the Don at some point, no?
Stacks just being like, oh, sorry, I got to make this call. And then the guys show up. I think Stacks set him up.
I think so. I think maybe.
Wow.
Yeah. Good stuff. You know what I want to see?
Good stuff. Yeah, it actually is riveting. Yeah, it's like The Departed. It's great.
You know what
Cinema.
So I think they need to make it clearer what Dijak is. And I think he should be like the prison warden at like a... That's where Ilia was today. It looked like prison, but we need those scenes of him like walking down the cells like with a nightstick, you know, banging the bars. We see Tony D in one cell.
He had a prison cell match already, right?
Like, what the hell? We see Dragunov tied up in another cell. What other criminals have we had in NXT?
I mean, you really want
NXT
me to
UK's closed. Okay.
Yeah. There's a few that come to my mind, but that I'm not going to say. But yeah, I'm just thinking. You know, I've talked about Women of Wrestling. Wow. I mentioned a few weeks back my favorite, the mom-daughter truckers, the mother truckers got arrested. So they cut to them and they had a segment in jail. It was so good. If you love this type of shit in your wrestling, WoW is great for it. So yeah, I think we have to see Tony next week. Tony's behind the glass and Stacks comes in to talk to him, right?
Yeah, we could have like, I'm thinking an interview scene where the cops are interviewing him under arrest. We can have absolutely the visiting hour or whatever.
Yeah, because that's when you'd have Stacks be like, "It was me." And
he's gonna give him a cake with a file in there or whatever to try and escape. You know,
here's some cigarettes.
Yeah,
sell them. I'm excited. This is great. The feds got Tony D.
Tony needs to make some friends in prison.
Oh,
is this? No, but surely this opens the door now for him to. He needs to lawyer up, doesn't he?
Oh, right, Cristofino, whatever that guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
something like that.
He can't get Mark Sterling, so
wow.
Yeah, I think
it's all coming together in this show.
I think so.
This is all coming together. This is great. Tony D. Look, Tony D. He's gonna get out. He's got to. Maybe he'll get out and be at Battleground.
Battleground is when he gets out of prison.
Yeah. I don't know.
In Boston.
Oh, it's in Boston. Oh yeah, it's in.
It could be he's being transported to a high maximum security prison, and Michael Myers is it. He breaks out, and the van happens to be in Boston.
Like, what if like Stacks gets added to like a match and Tony isn't? That would be the motive for Stacks to like discard Tony. I don't know, we're getting too into this, but we would love your takes, anyone out there.
Absolutely. We love this shit. There wasn't enough Brooks and Jensen this week.
Yeah, so we settle with the mob.
We move on
to
the
cops arresting Tony D'Angelo. Good shit.
The Creeds come back to the ringside and go to the announce table and grab Vic Joseph's headset.
They should have done this before the ridiculous mob boss got arrested. But...
Well, like right after the match?
Yeah.
And they say, well, no, actually, no, it needed to be. Because the whole thing is Tony and Stacks have been a team going for this.
Oh, right.
And Julius says, well, now Tony is away.
Oh, right.
And there are no other tag teams. We're calling you out. Gallus, you versus us at Battleground. What do you say?
Right.
I thought Julia sounded great here. They're sometimes a little wooden, the Creeds, with their acting and stuff, but I thought this was one of the times he sounded better, and I love the grabbing the headset gimmick. It's always pretty cool.
Yeah.
So Gallus and Creeds at Battleground, which, you know what, Gallus have kind of turned my head a little more recently, and Creeds have been killing it, so I think this could be a good match.
Yeah, I do too.
We get a commercial for Sand Mountain. Our new favorite show.
Our new favorite show, Stone Cold Takes America. Yeah, Siino was telling us about it the other week or so, and it's become our we go out, we come home late, and we're like,
don't know what to watch.
Burn one, and we're like, what should we watch? There's no new Botchamania. Okay, let's put on.
I haven't seen a complete episode
No,
yet. I
me
just
neither.
see scenes, and I fall asleep, and I wake up, and then he's learning how to bartend, and then he's with some old women, and then he's driving ATVs in Sand Mountain.
Yeah, I'd never heard of Sand Mountain in my life, but this guy says it like 30 times in that episode. So now all I get you to do is say
Sand Mountain.
That show is great.
Yeah, highly recommend it.
I do want to see the new episodes of the Hidden Treasures as well, because they showed someone has the Bret Hart Survivor Series 97 glasses and like outfits from that. It's like, that's crazy.
I quite enjoyed the first season, actually.
They replaced Top Dollar with Lita.
Oh, okay, right.
Damn.
I mean, he's wrestling now.
Is he?
We go to the Noam Dar Supernova 11 sessions. Noam dressed all in Burberry.
Very nice.
Someone might take exception to that, maybe.
He wasn't wearing the
scarf. No.
Scarf, though.
He says they're live from the moon, live in the USA, and I'm your sensei and longest reigning Heritage Cup champion, and I'm the creme de la creme of NXT talk shows. It's become an international phenomenon, and my first guess is a supreme athlete with his eyes set on my cup, but he isn't going to get it. And this is where Dragon Lee comes out, who's his guest, and Noam makes fun of him, says, oh, I forgot you don't speak English, so picks up a Spanish Made Easy Volume 1 book and starts reading in like broken Spanish. And Dragon Lee says, I speak English, and some people would say better than you.
Oh.
And says that Noam Dar doesn't give his people respect. And he talks about heritage. Well, I'm second generation. I come from a family of wrestlers. And Noam just shuts him down and says, we're not here to talk about your dad. And he says, I know you're a bona fide celebrity in Mexico, but here is a little different. And then he goes, Dragon Lee says, I have the same passion and spirit that this NXT universe does. And so I felt like he was comparing, he was kind of comparing the universe to Mexicans. He was like, my people have passion, and so does the NXT universe. NXT.
Yeah.
So yeah, NXT universe are like Mexican people.
And Noam Dar's like, yo, tranquilo.
Yeah. So says Dar has passion and pride for the Heritage Cup, and says, but it's not easy. Kind of says all the rules, that it's like 3 rounds of 6 minutes, etc., etc. And this is when Nathan Fraser comes out and says that he's here to expose Dar as a massive fraud. And Fraser says that it's not an annual trophy, but it's a trophy that has to be defended regularly. And he speaks on behalf of everyone, where he says he would love to see Dragon Lee take on Dar for the championship. And Fraser says, and if you happen to lose that, well, maybe you could give Alicia Fox a call to see if she'll take you back. For people
Alicia
that remember
Fox?
From 5 years ago, maybe more.
People never forget
People
that
never
one.
forget.
That one, yeah.
So Noam Dar agrees to the Battleground match. So it will be Dragon Lee versus Noam Dar, and then Fraser versus Dar next week.
Nice.
And then he says, play that funky music.
Turn the music. Yeah, he's got some great 80s music for his best wrestling talk show music, for sure. Dar definitely reminding me of he should have done this probably earlier, because at first, the past few weeks, I really could not care about him, and then I went, "Oh, you're funny. Okay, wait a second, hold on. You're actually pretty good." So I can, and some of these matches could be pretty good too.
I think so. Yeah. Like I'd like to see what Dar can do on the big stage.
Yeah.
He has been around for a long time, and he's done like the 205 Live stuff. He's done NXT
He's
UK
done
stuff.
main roster stuff, hasn't he?
He's been on main roster, yeah.
Alicia Fox.
And it hasn't really gone anywhere. But he is quite entertaining, and he's a good wrestler. And I think Dragon Lee is obviously there's someone you're going to have a good match with. It's going to be Dragon Lee. And I'm curious to see how the heritage rules kind of affect the match as well.
Right.
Found it a bit weird, kind of Nathan Fraser just butting his head in. I thought we were going, well, you can't really do a triple threat with these rules. But, found it a bit weird, him.
I actually did not like Nathan Fraser or Dragon Lee in this promo. I thought it showed that the Supernova was superior in talking, I thought. Because obviously Dragon Lee, not speaking English, clearly all the time, learning still. Nathan Fraser, though, clearly why you have your talk show as a pre-taped talk show. At least Noam Dar is there live, right?
Yeah, I thought it got a little messy, this thing. And
they were standing around looking like geeks.
Yeah, so. And Dragon Lee didn't sound too confident with his English. Obviously, it's not his first language and stuff. I was a bit disappointed. I know they did NXT UK from the BT studios, but I'm disappointed they didn't use that set, because I always quite liked it when he did his talk show. He had like a separate set, which kind of looked a bit different, whereas this was your classic, couple of chairs in the ring with a little thing. I don't know. I thought it's something you probably could have made at the PC.
Yeah. He had a cool video package.
He did.
So.
Yeah. But I didn't think the segment was great. I do agree. I thought Noam Dar was pretty funny. But I'm intrigued in the match.
He'll make me laugh again later.
Yes. We go back to Dijak's prison, where Dragunov is now tied up, and he's sweaty and wheezing, and you see like his chest is all red. It's like he's been beaten up.
Again, very dark visuals here. Like you see cages and like fence, and this sweaty, naked man with bruises who's just going, you can't beat me. Really sweaty and moaning and getting beat up.
Like, some people pay a lot for this stuff.
People pay a lot of shit for this.
And this guy's just found a guy at work who's willing to do it for free.
This would be the one. This would definitely be the wrong time for your like family member to walk into the room while you're watching that wrestling shit. They'd be like, "Sorry, what are you watching right now?"
Yeah,
this guy heavy breathing, heavy petting while getting beat up and whipped by this other guy.
Dijak's been torturing him. It's like, the scene from Casino Royale.
Except a little bit more hot. I don't know. It's this guy's like, you like pain? Yeah, well, I like giving people pain. All right, well then like torture me. So this is now a torture like kink type shit. Like, yeah.
Oh, I see in the chat RYN said James Bond Casino Royale as well. Yeah. Absolutely. So Dijak yells at him, "Enough!" And Dragunov says, "Not even close."
Yeah.
He ain't broke yet.
Yeah. They sell this kind of stuff at the Kavia store next to my work.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, and they cover it, but I'm
always
shelf. Like top shelf. I'm always like, why does it look like someone's gonna kill someone like in the images? But yeah.
People dig that shit.
Yeah, fuck it. Dijak does.
Yeah. We see JC Jane, who is asked about how confident she is going against a former women's champion, and she jokes that, "Oh, I'm really nervous and stuff." And she's like, "Obviously, come on, it's me. I will win, and I will move forward to the semis, where I wanted to face Gigi, but Gigi's a failure. She failed at being a daughter, failed at being a sister, a friend, and I am a winner, and I am there. I am the complete opposite of Gigi, and I will have to see Gigi's face when I kick Roxanne's head in tonight."
Yeah.
So she's sounding pretty good here.
She sounded better for sure. I'm definitely just not interested in this story.
No, me neither.
Anymore. Yeah.
I do think she's like got the character down though.
Yeah.
Completely now. I find her more believable in this Mean Girl role than Cora, I would say.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, she definitely comes across meaner and believable. Yeah.
We go to our next match: Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams taking on Charlie Dempsey and Drew Gulak. And Trick starts off hot with a series of drop kicks to Dempsey. We see that Melo's ribs are all taped up from the numerous spears he's been hit with recently. Melo comes in and delivers these nice arm drags to Gulak, and leapfrogs Gulak as Gulak does like a somersault roll through for a near fall, which is pretty cool. Mello and Dempsey are now trading these like wrist lock takeovers. And I really liked in this match where we know Mello as like the flashy guy and works very much. He does remind me of Sean in a way, where Sean would then like actually, you know, wrestle like Angle, and you go, oh yeah, I forget you've got the wrestling down as well. And I thought him in here with Gulak and Dempsey really got to show off his wrestling here, which was nice to see. Gulak starts pulling back on the hair of Trick Williams. There's a German suplex from Gulak into a suplex from Dempsey, like a one into the other, which was pretty cool. Trick comes in with the hot tag, hits this like big cyclone back boot, tags in Mello, who hits nothing but net to Dempsey, who looks like he dies here. And Trick's holding off Gulak as Mello gets the pin.
Yeah, pretty good match. Having Dempsey kind of wrestle with the champion here is kind of big spot, I'd say, for him. And I've been really loving Dempsey and Gulak teaming up and kind of seeing what they can do. And this was a good showcase of that. And like we say, Trick keeps getting better and better. So
every week, I thought he looked the most comfortable he's looked, I think, in this match.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love that kind of wrestling style of Charlie Dempsey, and thought the stuff with him and Mello especially was really nice in this. Another fun tag match on this show. I thought both tag matches were pretty fun.
Yeah, I really like Dempsey. Hopefully the Willy Wonka thing doesn't catch on
back,
for him or anything. No, I
was
don't
surprised
think
to see him take the pin over Gulak. Yeah.
Fair. Yeah, true. Yeah, true.
So Trick gets back on the mic and says that's another win for the Trick and Mello gang. Mello says, look, we're staying here, Braun. Like, come out. Let's hash this out. Come out. Braun appears on the screen and asks how his ribs feel after he speared him out of the sky last week. He says, I made a quick pit stop, and the energy is different in this place. The camera pans out and we see he's at the barber shop. You think Apollo Crews gave him the address?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
He figured out where to go to find this place.
So Mello is pissed.
It's all the barbershop guys all sitting around Bron, looking at him like kind of scared. Like, what's this guy doing here? They're acting a little like, oh, is this guy gonna kill us? Is this guy gonna beat us up? Kind of vibe. That was the thing they were going for.
They say they're gonna finish what they started last week.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm loving this heel Braun. I think it's working, and it is funny. Like, we joke about the NXT Monopoly board we have going on of all these places, but it kind of does work when you know Bron goes into the barbershop and it's like, oh, okay, you know, people show up with big daddies and all that shit.
Yeah, true. I mean, there's a bunch of these guys. They look like they could take Bron.
I mean, that's how confident Bron is.
He jokes.
He's like, walking into enemy territory,
right? Yeah,
and he's got like pretty big balls to do that.
He's like, oh, why is everybody so nervous?
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. I think I was thinking that it was gonna pan out and they would all be laid out, like really cheesy. But maybe I'm happy.
He's like shave bits of their hair out.
Yeah, really.
It did look like Bron had a fresh cut.
Maybe they gave him one.
I'm getting one Thursday.
I feel like that's like also a dumb move if you're a bad guy, because if you're my friend, right, and I'm beefing with someone and they go to your barbershop to try to scare you, I'd be like, oh, let me give you a cut, and like totally fuck up your cut and be like, now we clowned you again. Like, it's real risky here, Bron. But yeah, I like this.
So we see Duke Hudson wearing his glasses, grading papers. Thea goes, right, Duke, it's time to go. And he's like, go where? To the ring, it's my match. It's like, you got a match? It's like, yeah, you agreed. Oh, I did. He's just so distracted by all these papers.
Yeah, you think being a teacher is easy? Being a professor at a university, you're grading papers all the time.
All the time. Boring. Noam Dar is then walking backstage where he sees Lash Legend. And sorry, who was this?
Is it LaToya Jackson?
LaToya Jackson.
We've seen her. If you've ever watched NXT Level Up, she's definitely on there. But we've seen her once or twice on NXT.
Wearing a shirt saying Miss Jackson on it.
Yes. So
he says, "I'm sorry, Miss Jackson."
He says, "I'm sorry, Miss Jackson," quoting some Outcast there. Shout out 3 Stacks. But clearly this was a gag, right? Someone put 2 and 2 together.
They bring up the Alicia Fox thing earlier. And then Noam Dar's walking backstage and is flirting. And yeah, Seems like he's
got a type.
Yeah.
Supernova.
Yeah.
I laughed more than I should have. I don't know who did that backstage.
Like,
Someone
that
did
ain't accident.
No, absolutely not. So, Alicia Fox.
Yeah.
How's he gonna? Yeah. So actually, this is pretty funny because we talked about Noam Dar. Sorry?
I was going to say, we haven't seen Lash for ages. We mentioned this.
We just said she had a talk show. What happened to her talk show? And here she is being like, yo, why the hell do you get a talk show? What about my talk show? And I laughed so much at this. I want to see more of this now.
So
I want to see like clearly they're gonna push these two as a tag team, which there isn't any really in NXT right now. So that's a good thing for the women's tag division, if that even still is a thing with the witches on the titles. But that could be like a good new team there because they kind of obviously Lash oozes like charisma.
It would help Lash a lot because she is slow developing in ring.
But
like you hide someone in a tag, you do those hot tags that you do well, and you start gaining experience that way. And hopefully she's doing all the the Florida loops and getting better because she does have a personality and that size obviously as well.
Yeah, I think I said LaToya Jackson, which is I was way off. I was completely
That's one of the Jacksons.
Yeah. It's
I just went with it. It's NXT.
Janet. Yeah, it's Janet Jackson.
It's Janet.
Sorry, Jakara Jackson.
Jakara Jackson.
Thank you, Frank, who's reminding everyone to listen to Shot in the Dark.
Yes,
to get familiar with all the up and coming stars of wrestling.
So Noam Dar asks Lash if she watched his talk show, and she says. Like, she says some truths here. She goes, look, there are way too many talk shows in NXT. We had the Grayson Waller effect. We had your thing. We've had the, like, what was Bailey's thing? Ding Dong Knock Knock.
Right, yeah.
We got Lashing Out with Lash Legend, and that's the best one. And that's the only thing we should be talking about. So I reckon we'll probably get a Lashing Out again soon.
Getting a Lashing Out Supernova session.
Last year when I did that... like grapple show in Leeds, and I did one of our games, and Chris Elliott's specialist subject was talk shows in wrestling.
Okay.
So I wrote like 50 questions about there are way too many fucking talk shows in wrestling.
I think like the Cutting Edge, Edges, the Peep Show, Christian, Y2J obviously,
Highlight Reel, Piper's Pit, what was Carlito's?
Carlito's Cabana.
Yeah.
The MVP VIP Lounge.
Honky Tonk had one, like Barbershop, like...
there's a lot.
Miss TV.
Miss TV, Undertaker's Funeral Parlor.
Yeah. There's so many.
Yeah. I can't... Maybe we got a lot of those. There's definitely more.
What made me angry is Chris couldn't get a single question right. I wrote like 50 of these things, and I maybe asked like 4 of them.
Yeah, let us know. Did we miss one? And what is your favorite wrestling talk show? And why is Lash Legends lashing out the best?
Yeah. Hard-hitting truths with Nathan Fraser.
Yeah, it's definitely not that one. That's definitely not the pre-taped one. Thank you, Maggie, in the chat. KO show.
Yeah.
Frank says Cafe de Rene. I'm assuming that's Rene Dupree's when he had the French and the dog. Yeah, there's been a lot of them.
Yeah.
The Stevie Turner.
There was one. There was one which was like the Grill or something like that. What was that?
JR?
Yeah, I can't remember. Stevie Turner. Yeah. She's got more of a Twitch stream going.
There's
too many.
Yeah,
too many.
Good stuff.
Go to our next match. Thea Hale taking on Kiana James, and Kiana is just bullying Thea at the beginning, shoving her down. As we see Duke Hudson in the corner, still grading papers, not really paying attention to the match. Thea comes back with some arm drags and hits a low-pay suicida to the outside. And Thea goes for the high five, and with Duke, and Duke's like, oh yeah, high five. Again, still not really watching. Thea then goes for a splash, but Kiana moves, so she misses and eats shit. And then Kiana starts delivering these big punches to the stomach. Thea starts fire back with some clotheslines, and then shakes the ropes like Warrior. I find it quite funny when she does this. And hits her springboard back senton, followed by a high cross for a 2. And then James comes back with the Gourd Buster and hits the 4-1K for the win.
Like a running, jumping flatliner. We've seen her do it before. Yeah, pretty cool move. The match was pretty quick and short. Thea Hale definitely has something. Kiana James, we've seen. She's a former tag champion. She definitely has something. It's just unfortunate when there's other bigger things going on with the title scene right now that she's kind of now not even involved in the storyline, so they're just kind of here.
Yeah, I wonder where they go with her next.
Yeah.
Like, I think I like what they've been doing with Thea Hale. They've been keeping. She's so young, and like we've seen, like she's not bad in the ring, but they give her very short matches. It's all very like character based, and I think that's a good idea because hopefully someone like that could be in the system a long time, and it's obviously going to improve.
Yeah.
With the wrestling, so keeping her as a featured character is a good idea. But yeah, Kiana, I like. Is that Jensen story like done now?
I think so.
I think so too. So yeah,
Where's G?
Where's G? So where do we go next with her?
Well, obviously Thea Hale losing and Duke wasn't really watching the match is also part of the story.
Yeah, Thea's crying at the end and hugging Duke, but Duke still seems distracted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, not much of a match, but I also found some more. There was a grill wrestling talk show, Terry Funk wrestling grill talk show.
Okay, I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
You want me to hit you with like lots of other ones?
Yeah.
Okay.
Give the name and I'll say who it is.
A Moment of Bliss.
Alexa Bliss. Oh yeah, that was
The Asylum.
Dean Ambrose.
Yeah. We already said that one. The Classroom.
Oh, is that Dean? Fuck, what was his name?
Matt Stryker's Classroom.
Oh, okay.
The King's Court.
Jerry Lawler, yeah.
Obviously. Heartbreak Hotel. I'm assuming that's when Sean.
Okay,
left.
Right, got you.
The Flower Shop.
The Flower Shop. Oh, is that?
Adrian Adonis.
Adrian Adonis. Okay. Oh, Brother Love had a show, didn't he?
Yeah. The Brother Love show.
Yeah, good name.
Yeah.
Tyler Breeze chat show.
Yeah. He never had one. He should have had one.
He should have had one. Yeah. Bring him back. We see Tank and Hank in the back, and they're checking on Tank's new teeth.
Yeah.
He had his tooth knocked out last week.
I think this guy earned a lot of respect last week. This guy got his tooth punched out of his fucking head and then picked it up and put it in his tights for later. And here he is a week later, some shiny new teeth.
Yeah. And they're like, hey, look, we're not going to win beauty contests, but we're not here for our good looks. And that's when Briggs and Jensen come in and they go, hey guys, like, killer match last week. Like, I haven't been hit as hard. Like Briggs says, I haven't been hit as hard as that since I fought Jensen recently. And I go, and you know what? We feel closer now. After we beat the shit out of each other, we just feel like even closer and a better tag team. And Tank says, look, that's what we got to do. If we want to be like Briggs and Jensen, we should fight each other as well. So next week, they're going to have a hoss fight. Tank v. Hank.
Wow.
Let's go.
Tank v. Hank.
I'm excited.
I love Tank.
He sounded good.
Yeah,
really confident.
He really just seems effortless to him for talking when it's such a hard thing for so many people. So, guy got his tooth knocked out and he talks good.
He was one of the ones, like when he was signed to the PC, like he was a real hot prospect. Okay, apparently. So
interesting. He's got to change the gear. I know his
look is a bit odd, for sure.
But I'm crazy because he doesn't have the like goatee or the hair, but he reminds me of Guy Fieri.
Okay, yeah,
the way he
talks
see what you mean. Or something, and tattoos or something. I don't know, but that's a good thing in my opinion because I love me some Guy Fieri. So I just love Tank now, and Tank and Guy Fieri and Seth Rogen.
I think that kind of look would work for him. Maybe, be a little bit more wackier.
Right,
like he's this wacky, big, athletic
grill show.
You know, I'm not saying he should be dancing, but yeah, he should have a grill show.
Get Guy Fieri on it.
Yeah.
All I know is from the little things I've seen of this guy so far, he's very impressive. Other than his weird gear, he's impressive so far. So I'm interested in.
So I'm looking forward to this hoss fight.
Me
Could
too.
be good. We go to the trainer's room where Wesley and Tyler Bate are being checked on, and Mackenzie asks, "Any idea why you were attacked?" And Wes says, "With all due respect, Mackenzie, this is something I've got to say in front of the universe." So he goes out to the NXT universe. We get a little video with Daba Kato, who says that he was hoping to get drafted to Raw and SmackDown, but he wasn't. And he is a hunter, and now everyone else is his prey. So Daba Kato taking the Leo Kruger gimmick. from
Yeah, not
2013.
yeah,
NXT.
not quite the Craven the Hunter, Dava the Hunter gimmick, but he's saying like, well, I didn't get drafted, so everyone here in NXT, y'all are screwed.
I'm gonna kill you,
Murder you all.
murder and eat you.
Not really, because then I'll go to jail like other people.
So Wesley comes out and says that he's got better at controlling his anger, but when I got attacked from behind my back, that pissed me off. And you didn't have to target me or my friend to get a championship shot. Gacy, if you wanted a shot, you just had to ask. And Gacy appears on the perch and says that he's never been dishonest about what he wants. He wants the NXT North American Championship. And Ava says, the closer you're getting to becoming the greatest North American champion of all time, because he keeps on defending this thing, the more it's going to mean when Gacy wins it from you. So he asks for a match, and Ava and Joe call Tyler Bate a big, strong liar and that he's deceiving you. And this is when Tyler Bate comes out.
There's such a bit. Tyler Bates like watching earlier, and the guy comes and is like, "Hey, like you can't hear it, but he's like, you want more ice?" And he's like, "Oh, like give me some more ice." Like he's just like, relaxed, selling this injury a bit.
And he hears being called a liar, that he's like trying to deceive Wes. So he comes out, and he's just sounds like a badass here. He says, "I've had it with all this high school name calling rubbish." What I like in my wrestling. Yeah. He says, "I don't know what your problem is, or if it's still that I beat you at Stand and Deliver, but I would be lying if I said I don't want a shot at that championship. I am your friend, but I have been looking at that thing." And Gacy goes like, "Yes, the truth will set you free."
Yeah.
Wes tells Gacy to shut up and asks why Bate didn't say anything before. And Bate's like, "Look, we can do this strictly for competition. I would never let this championship get between our friendship." And Wes says, "All right then, I'll see you all at Battleground, triple threat match." And as he walks off, he goes, "I thought I could trust you, dog."
I'm gonna clip that. Brandon, clip that. I thought I could trust you, dog. Yeah, this guy is like, "Hey, you're giving the bad guy the title shot. What if you just gave me the title shot? I'm your friend." And Wes is like, "Oh, you broke my heart."
It's weird, right? Like, obviously, and especially when we just had in the scene before the friends, the tag team partners being like, "Hey, should we fight each other?" And then it's obviously you're a champion. Everyone should want that championship. I think because we've been saying like this whole meditation thing that Tyler Bate might be just full of shit.
Yeah.
I thought there could have been a cleverer way where he has been a bit more of a snake to go into it. Whereas I thought Bate was kind of justified here. He comes out and it's like, "Yeah, look, you're giving him a shot. Like, don't have to be enemies, but I'd love to fight you for the championship."
Yeah, it made Wes look weird.
Was a bit of a dweeb about
it made Wes kind of seem like the off character. Why would that be the problem in this storyline? The problem is, hey, I know he wants to fight you, but he attacked me, so actually I want to fight him.
Yeah.
And you're giving him the shot? Like, no, give me the shot. So Wes goes, "I'm a fighting champion because I love multi-men matches."
Yeah.
So sure, why wouldn't I give you this spot?
How many more multi-person matches we're getting on this show?
Well, I mean, we could get Stacks getting thrown in this match now too. I mean, that wouldn't make sense really. But this match could be good. The three-way there, it would be more interesting now if Tyler was the one to take it from him.
Okay.
Maybe Tyler turns in the match.
I mean, I think I don't think Gacy's a bad wrestler, but I think Wes has actually done a great job with this championship.
Yeah.
And maybe has been the best champion, with this thing. As far as like match quality and the amount of good matches and defenses he's put on, I'd like to see the title continue like that, whether that still be on Wes or Tyler Bate doing the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think would be good. We go to Roxanne Perez, who has a bit of a video package, and she says it was exactly a year ago when she entered NXT and was in the breakout tournament, and which she won, and then she became NXT champion. Where did the time go? And she's got this board filled with all these pictures of her NXT memories. She says, "Last year, this board was completely blank. I had so many things. I won titles, I won tournaments, I was in the Royal Rumble. And what will my next year and board look like?" And we see this other board, which has like little stickers on it saying NXT, Battleground, and then an arrow to Raw, an arrow to SmackDown, and then at the bottom, WrestleMania, like Liberty Bell.
Wow, she's got some high hopes.
Yeah. And she says, it's nerve-wracking, but so exciting. I know where I've been and I know where I want to go. Now it's just how I get there. And this whole thing had like this epic trailer music underneath, which kind of didn't really go with the theme of what she's saying. It felt like I was watching like the trailer for a new Batman film or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't mind this thing. It's they're still playing up that she's so young and kind of so ambitious but nervous and excited. And
I totally get it. Maybe it's just not hitting for me because I like, okay, you're young. Yeah, she is. She's definitely one of the youngest superstars, but it's been a year of that, so I'm definitely not into the college, high schooler.
Yeah, I agree.
Character. Anymore.
I can't believe it's only a year. Yeah. Like she has done a lot in that. Like
absolutely, definitely not taking that away from her. Just like now, I'm like, can we move on? Can you just? No one cares about your story. Like I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm just like, what if you just focused on?
It all her videos feel very American Idol.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like she's going to have this video
every time.
And then she's going to go out and sing a song and Simon's going to say, that wasn't good. That was great. You know, so.
Yeah. Yeah. Booker's Simon.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Exactly. Von Wagner. Oh, I forgot about this section.
This is a great show.
Free agent Von Wagner.
Free agent Von.
Which means he can go wherever the fuck he wants. He's Von Wagner. Is walking backstage and this girl congratulates him on his Battle Royal appearance on Raw yesterday.
You're telling me Von was on Raw?
Von was on Raw.
Monday night
He didn't
Von.
win the Battle Royal. It's like, congrats on being in this Battle Royal, Von.
It looks like this girl was interested in Von.
Yeah, she seemed to like him. And this is when Crucifino. Is that his name? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm calling him anyway.
Yeah.
Is kind of giving Robert Stone some shit. So Von steps in and kind of roughs up Crucifino, tells him to leave him alone and I'll beat you up next week, challenges him to a fight. So Crucifino scarpers and Robert Stone says, you stood up for me. And he's like, no, I didn't. And it's like, no, Von, you stood up to me. And he's like, yeah, I guess I did. You know, you're the only person who believed in me.
Not true. I also.
You also believed in me.
I also.
Incredible
for the
wrestler,
record, yeah,
Von Wagner.
incredible wrestler. Just for the record.
Braden Herrington and Mr. Stone.
The only two. When everyone else judged him and ridiculed him, and then, I was there for him.
And then Mr. Stone goes, so, is it now time we can talk about this picture where you had a weird head as a baby?
And Von's like, no.
Nice try. Sorry, what's with this picture?
So the gimmick is not, we're going to find out. The gimmick is he just doesn't want to talk about this picture. I don't know. He seems better already, though. He's got some personality.
Yeah.
He's with a girl. He's beating up lawyers. He sounds like a nice guy.
I actually think, like, going this gentle giant route could be quite fun with him, where he's super soft and gentle, and then, like, someone pisses him off, and he goes apeshit on them.
Yeah. I'm excited.
It's more interesting than he's been.
Yeah,
it's something for old Vonnie.
Yeah, I love it.
Vonnie Wags.
I've been telling the world. I've been telling you all. Just wait.
Yeah.
Free agent.
Free agent. We go to our next NXT Women's Championship quarterfinal match. It's Roxanne Perez taking on JC Jane. JC hits like a European clutch early for a near fall. And then Roxanne's taking her down with some arm drags. And then drop kicks JC out of the ring, followed by a Lope Suicida. Roxanne hits the Russian leg sweep and sets up for pop rocks, but JC counters out of it and hits a super kick, followed by a big forearm. And then JC goes for a big boot, but misses. And this allows Perez to hit a spin kick to the gut, followed by pop rocks for the win.
An okay match. I didn't quite get into it as some of the other stuff on this show, and I kind of could see where this was going. I figured Gigi would get involved, but that wasn't the case until after the match. But Roxanne is the one I would be putting in the match at Battleground. So I clearly just saw her winning. But I'd say JC, like you said, she sounded better earlier. I think her wrestling is better as well.
I agree. I think her wrestling's really improved. She's in the ring with one of the best ones there as well. I think Roxanne is so smooth in the ring, like very polished. So yeah, I didn't mind the wrestling here. And yeah, I think Cora versus Roxanne makes the most sense because you're going to have essentially, once we know what the match is, you got a 1 week build to it. So you might as well have one that already has a bit of
underlying
history.
story.
Like if it wasn't going to be JC and Gigi, like you're not main eventing with Tiffany versus Lyra because there's nothing between them really.
Yeah, I'd imagine it's Cora versus Roxanne, and they used the whole. They kind of fixed where they kind of dropped off. Really, they kind of messed up that story. It didn't get that hot as they thought it.
And where would you go? Back onto Roxanne or like probably Cora? Wouldn't you think?
I guess Cora. Yeah, I'd say Tiff is the stronger of everyone.
But
it's not heated as much right now.
Tiff versus Lyra and Tiff versus Cora, just neither sounds right, does it? It's a shame this women's championship because it's the whole like fake vacating it with Roxanne.
Yeah,
really,
and then actually vacating it now.
Yeah,
with the injury.
It feels like it's just been flipped around a lot.
Yeah. And I mean, clearly, are we getting this match at Battleground too?
Yeah, so after the match, Gigi Dolan attacks JC, and there's a bit of a pull apart there. So yeah, we got to get the blow off match between these two.
Booker T was comparing JC Jane's look tonight to Pat Benatar.
Okay.
So, I mean, if JC didn't win this match, I guess love is not a battleground.
I do. Yes, well
done. Well, I think she will be wrestling at Battleground still against Gigi.
With these two, yeah.
Yeah, it may be some sort of like unsanctioned brother on a pole match or something.
Brother on a pole match.
What's going on with Gigi Dolan and her Instagram posts being like, "Oh, I miss being Priscilla Kelly." What's that all about? She wants out.
She misses being Priscilla.
She just wants to.
Like,
I don't know.
If I was a Gigi Dolan, I wouldn't be looking outside of WWE at this point.
Right now, yeah.
Like, I think for the men or for main roster women, certainly, but being in developmental, like potential call ups at some point and stuff, I don't see what you're going to be doing better than this outside WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
Mello comes back out to the ring and says, "All right, Braun, I know traffic ain't that bad. Get out here, and we're going to stay here all night until you come out, even if they turn the lights off." So he's waiting, and we go back to Dijak and Dragunov.
Final confrontation.
Ilia's now dead.
It's again the dark bluish hues. Dijak is in his torture chamber with fences, and we see Dragunov is like even more sweatier, bruised,
stab wounds. Dijak's wiping blood off his hands, and he said, "I said I can break any man." And Dragunov rises back from the dead and says, "But I'm still standing." Yeah. So, like, are we getting like an I Quit match or something between these two? I want just a one-on-one, but like all of this is gearing to like some sort of submission or I Quit or last man standing match, no?
Yeah, you're totally right, I guess. I would assume some sort of unsanctioned, but I guess I Quit because of this silly. This is so bad. This was so funny. I would definitely recommend people checking this out if you want to laugh. Dijak, not known for his great acting. I love his wrestling. I really do. Been a huge fan, but his acting makes me laugh uncontrollably. But when you see, again, it looks like I'm watching something else here with the two naked sweaty men and the one guy's torturing him and getting off on it. But this is Tuesday night on USA Network. And then when it's like Dragunov is like, "Still here." Like they're trying to go for what, like Dragon Ball Z type thing. Like I'm not giving up. And then the over the shoulder, but it's again like dark prison, supposed to be like rough. And his acting just so cheesy. This is my
as well. Like Dragunov, his style is
not
very
this.
No, he's very over the top and dramatic, and his promos like it can work.
Yeah,
but like that's why his matches can be great. He does these crazy exaggerated like screams and stuff. But in this scene, it's just so melodramatic.
It's so torture porn.
It's so funny, and also the fact that we don't see any of the torturing. It's like we go backstage to see Von Wagner, and then we come back, and it's just like he's been ripping out his fingernails or something, but we haven't seen it.
Yeah, this was so cheesy, so bad. Like if you were to watch all three in a row, it would be so hilarious. So definitely, I think ironically my favorite part of the night because I got just such laughter out of it. But wow, torturing this guy and making it very erotic at the same time.
I think the match will be great.
The match will be so good, but this was just
Yeah.
this reverse of making it hype.
So Bron Breaker now comes out and he's got a load of security. He says, I didn't bring these guys out here for me. I brought them out here to protect you from me. And I know if they weren't out here, there would be no Melo Homecoming or NXT Battleground main event. And last week I beat Trick. And Melo says that some people say that you changed for the better. But don't blame these people. Don't blame me. Blame yourself. And you thought you were untouchable, Bron, until you got touched. And at Battleground, you will not be taking my championship. And I kind of like that because Bron held this title for so long. It's like, no, this thing's mine now. This ain't yours anymore. And he says, Bron says, I'm going to defeat you in front of your friends and family. And they'll see that you can't get it done. Melo says there's a reason we're in the main event because the rest aren't cut like us. And beating you is going to help me build the dynasty I'm about to build above your body. And Bron brings up that your city knows about dynasties that come to an end and lists off the Patriots, the Bruins, the Red Sox. He's like, your city's trash. Teams suck.
Trash, Brock.
Yeah.
He's just lubing up Boston next week.
Yeah.
He's really just making sure, hey, Boston, all your teams suck. He's not even in Boston yet, and he's getting them to boot. You're not in Boston yet, but.
Yeah, this Florida crowd
Florida,
are confused how to react.
Yeah.
But you're right. Like he's healing up Boston, so he hopefully comes out and make a heel.
Yeah.
He says you're going to realize that you're not him. You're nothing. And then Melo's had enough, so leaps over the top rope with this big con hilo. Kind of misses the guys. Falls a little short here. But then jumps Bron. Bron comes back with a huge clothesline, goes for the military press slam, and Melo slips out. Hits Bron with the low blow, grabs the NXT title, and clobbers him over the head as Melo stands tall. And this weird music just played to end the show.
Yeah, both are like laid out, and the music's playing like some NXT hype battleground music. And I'm like, oh, it's neither of their themes.
Yeah.
And the NXT went off the air.
Kind of a bit of a... I know Bron's been like doing sneak attacks and things, but I found it kind of odd that... because we had a big criticism at their Stand and Deliver match with how that ended with Melo kind of using heel tactics.
Yeah.
And here with a low blow and title shot just seems a little like come on, you're meant to be the good guy. You're meant to be like the solid, pure baby face now at this point, and you're kicking guys in the dick.
Yeah, Booker T sold it like, oh, like, hey, he got him back, but it's like, but he kicked him in the dick.
Yeah.
Maybe he should have hit the clothesline. Maybe he should have hit the clothesline and scared him off. And I don't know. I didn't mind some of the stuff. I love Bron as a heel now. He's such a way more interesting character.
I think he's doing great in the role.
And having him come out with security guards is very Goldberg-esque, just like he loves. And using the line like, oh, they're not for me. They're for you.
Yeah.
It's classic. So I kind of want him to win.
I think, it could be interesting. I think it would be a big surprise. WWE like beating people in their hometown.
I feel like I'm exactly kind of what's wrong with wrestling sometimes, but call me crazy. I was getting so sick and tired of Bron. I liked Bron from the beginning, but I was getting bored of him because he was a baby face. And then they turned him heel, and I'm like, whoa, now you're cool. Melo is the coolest heel, and now I'm like, now I'm not that interested in your character right now.
I think that happens so often with babyface champions as well. Their story's kind of complete.
You did it.
Once they've done it, you've got to find compelling reasons for them to defend it. And I think they're building this matchup well, but I agree. It's kind of, we're seeing the same with Sammy and Kevin, I think, with the tag titles. Like they achieved that, and now I'm kind of not interested.
Yeah.
And I think WWE, I'd say AEW as well, like always struggle once they put their baby
They're
face
the worst
over.
at that. Yeah, they don't know what.
Hangman became champion and then was on Dark, essentially. Not quite,
weird,
but he just disappeared. But overall, I thought pretty good episode. I loved the Creeds versus Dyad. I thought was awesome. Really loved that match. Really enjoyed the other tag match. I like the ongoing stuff with Bron and Melo throughout the episode, and Dijak and Ilia was ridiculous.
Yes, it was. Yeah. I enjoyed this week's NXT. Whenever they give me one match that's just something to rave about, I'm usually happy, but it had some progression for some storylines. And, I do like NXT and watching and doing all this because it is interesting seeing some of the future stars of WWE and where people can land. And watching this crop now, I'm like, okay, it's interesting. People are coming from all different aspects of the world and different places of wrestling and no wrestling experience and this and that. And it's still an entertaining show, and I'm excited. I am excited for Battleground. I know we'll be watching it the day after or later that night or whatever, but I think the card is shaping.
I think it's looking like a really good show.
I mean, it's got the triple threat for the North American with Wes, Gacy, and Tyler Bate, which those three guys can wrestle. So yeah. I'm actually, that'll steal the show, no problem. But then Gallus and Creeds, we've been waiting for that bigger moment, the 2-on-2.
Could be the crowning of Creeds.
Yeah.
Dragon Lee versus Noam Dar in the Heritage Cup Rules match.
True,
could be really good. I think this Bron Melo match is going to be better than their last one.
Oh, it has to be. Yeah, it has to be.
And then probably Cora Roxanne and maybe JC Gigi as well.
Pretty packed.
Going to be
lots
the
of matches, yeah.
And yeah, as you said, no NXT Women's Tag Championship.
Right, the witches turned them. They cast a spell on them and made them disappear. We have some feedback here from some of you people, fine people like Megan, who writes in here on our Facebook group. Join the Poisonrana page on Facebook, like it, and it leads you to the Facebook group, and we'll let you in, and we post up feedback threads like this. Megan writes in, big ups to Noam Dar for quoting Outcast to Jakara Jackson. I chuckled. I've never seen a Heritage Cup match when NXT UK was still a thing, so it's nice that there's going to be one at Battleground, and Dragon Lee is getting a spotlight on top of that. Nathan Frazier's new John Oliver style persona is working wonders. He's a big fan. He continues, Wes, Bate, and Gacy had plenty of intrigue over who to trust. Creed Bros versus Dyad stole it, despite an uncertain future for the latter. The semis are a real pick'em, and a case can be made for any of the four to make it to the finals, meaning the women's tournament. And I want Dijak Dragunov for Battleground.
I think we'll get it.
There you go. There's another that match as well. Yeah.
And we go to Frank, who says, can't believe Two Dimes called the feds from catering at Dynamite. Dijak and Dragunov, what the fuck? This episode was on one, but was I entertained? I'm sorry, Miss Jackson, but yes, for real, no cap. Shout out Brandon.
Shout out Brandon from New Jersey, always. Well, thank you guys for writing in there. That's what some thoughts. I think people are on the same page about some of the things, and Battlegrounds could be pretty fun. And yeah, Tony D got arrested here tonight, folks. Crazy times. That was NXT. Thanks for listening, people.
Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate you, whether you stayed up late, stayed up early, woke up early, whatever it is, whatever time it is. Thank you for listening. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, give us a nice little review there. Tell the world that you like upNXT. Tell your friends to listen to Poisonrana. Go check us out, Poisonrana.ca, for all the links of all the live events for those tickets. The Forbidden Pour come June, our Double or Nothing watch party, reminders of all the shows and everything that we do. And follow our socials, Twitter and Instagram, at PoisonRanaPod for all the updates of everything we do. So many podcasts, and we love you for listening and checking us out. We appreciate it. I myself, Braden Herrington, Twitter, Instagram, at the Brady.
And you can find me at Davie Portman.
That's it. That's all. Take care. Goodbye. Be safe. And I trusted you, dog.
Ahoy!
Poisonrana.